If you guys are tuning in, you are rock stars in my book, and I so appreciate it. We are about to get things going. It is Saturday. Everybody's doing their summer thing, but there is still stuff happening in the market. It never goes to sleep. You know that. I know that. Give me 2 seconds. We are about to kick it off like this. What is going on? I hope everybody is doing absolutely fantastical. The secret sauce for today is your persistence is power. Never underestimate what grit can bring you. Just keep on keeping on. Next up, 54.1% of crypto participants do not think that NFTs will come back this particular cycle. Solana drops. We're not even going to get into prices just yet. Scottie Pippen apparently is a scammer. The community is not happy. Crypto executives have decided it is time to meet with Kamala at the White House because we cannot lose to Donald Trump over something like cryptocurrency. Do we see their rhetoric and their attitude change? I think we do. Will Bitcoin dominance reach 60%? XRP and the death cross has arrived, and a think tank has also doubled down, saying that there is supposedly a meeting coming up with some of Kamala's team to do just the crypto thing. We have Polymarket traffic. It has surpassed DeFi giants. It is just amazing to see Polymarket take off. We are going to get into all that stuff. Chaos to clarity, noise to narrative. It is Saturday. It is August 3rd, and it is time for some rare bits. The cryptocurrency market has shed over $150 billion in 2 days. Why are people doing leverage bets? You can spot trade in this market just fine. People are getting wrecked. Brought the crypto market down to about $2.3 trillion. All of this has been driven by a bunch of economic uncertainty globally, so it's not an easy thing. We are not going to touch on the Bitcoin price. We did see it drop to record lows. Do we see the slide continue? We're going to look at numbers in a moment. We also had a weak job report indicating there is a 4.3% unemployment rate. This led to FUD in the stock market. We had a kind of a little mini Wall Street crash. The crypto greed and fear index, it is down 20 degrees, coming in at a 37. Top crypto search term for the normies is Celestia, ticker sign TIA. It is down 8% on the 7-day, but everything is. Bitcoin dominance, it is actually up on the 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance is currently coming in at 54.29%. As I said, do we see this hit 60% in the near future? That would be really interesting. Excuse me, next up, ETH dominance, it has fallen. We're coming in at 16.03%. So it's always interesting to know what these numbers are, 54 and 16, the top 1 and 2. Do we see Solana start to climb and nudge away at Ethereum in the near future? My thought is that is what is going to happen. Total crypto market cap, last time I wrote it down, was $2.5 trillion. That is a 4% decline since yesterday. And before we get into some more news, we are going to check the numbers for the nerds. And would you look at that? That is not the picture that you want to see. We are looking at a heat map that is on fire with red. I would like to pour one out for the homies, but the market's down too bad, and I cannot afford to waste any beer. Man, just look at that for a second. Salami's down 5.75%. TRXs. There's just a few green candidates at the moment. We have Bitcoin currently trading at $60,597. That $60,000 is such an important number, just like 70 was. We couldn't pierce the $70,000 resistance, which would have absolutely sent things parabolic. When we drop below this 60 number, it gets dicey. So keep in mind, it is Saturday. Sunday is quiet. We get back to the real world Monday, most people, but the crypto people, we're still here. But we have to understand the fluctuations that are now impacting our ecosystem. with the TradFi market. So keep these things in mind. We have Ethereum trading at $2,908. It's down 4% on the hour. Excuse me, 0.4% on the hour, 2.6 on the day, 11% on the week, but only down 7.9% on the month. So it's still up 58% on the year. If you just sat and hodled it, you would be fine. We have BNB trading at 528. We were not able to recapture that $600 mark that, again, is the psychological benchmark that just sends various tokens on fire. Solana trading at 143. It is down on the hour, day, week, but up on the month. And it is up 515% on the year. So if you have been listening to the podcast, we have been talking about Solana the entire time. Sometimes all you need to do is hodl that shit. Next up, we have XRP at 0.55. We have Dogecoin trading at 0.108. Do we see that go to 1.00? That would be a fat 10x. Now, looking at kind of a broad watch list that I have, and I am just going to click and switch the script for a moment here. Okay, so we are looking at the biggest losses on the day. We have Brett, which is a coin on the Ethereum base chain. I still think this has good long-term play. This has a market cap just under $1 billion. It rose to prominence super fast. The ecosystem is brilliant over there. Easy trades, easy flow, easy management. I think it will take off. Everything is suffering. So buy the blood. What does buy the blood means? It means you buy crypto on days that look like that. So that is what we're talking about. That is what we are doing. We're going to get into some of the things that we are doing because it is interesting. And let's see who's, okay, Moo the Bull up 222% on the month. Keep in mind, this is a brand new token. Down 9% on the day, down 28% on the week. I have some Moo. I love Moo. I've advised friends to buy this. I think this is a great long-term play. They are super active on X. They are building a community. They are not going anywhere. They are leaving the footprint that you want to see tokens leave when they are operating in the ecosystem as participants, not as pirates. So hats off to Moo. I still love that coin. Let's just keep moving forward. I am looking at the liquidation levels on DeFi Llama, and over the last 24 hours, we had about $1.6 billion get liquidated. How would your fucking coffee taste this morning if you woke up and you were a part of that monstrosity? Next up, DEX tools. This is really interesting. I just pulled this stat up because we are seeing this climb, right? We saw right around in here, we're at March, okay, April, May, June, July. So we've gone through all of this time. It does seem like, I think August, my call for so many things to take off is September 23rd, period. So I think we're going to see sideways and downward action possibly on some things. And I am not talking about any geopolitical influence. I'm just saying normal market conditions. And what are those? Well, they don't exist. So your technical analysis, it's out the fucking window. All of it's out the window. You need to pay attention to this market every single second. So that's why we do this. That's why we tune in. When we are looking at meme coin tokens by market capitalization, as far as price goes for the top contenders, all of them are down. WIF is down 12%, Pepe down 10%, Shiba Inu down 5%, Brett down 8.9%, Mew down 7.4%, Boom, Book of Meme down 8%, Floki, Bonk, and Doge. Everybody is suffering from the same dereliction of duty. The idea is to pioneer into the green zone and go to the moon, and you cannot do that if you are moving backwards. Next up, we love checking in on the poly market, just seeing what the current bets are. We're looking at 55% Trump, Kamala Harris coming in at 43%, and our favorite Michelle Obama coming in at 1%. Now, we are going to just do a quick look at, I'm not going to get into technicals, but I just have some things set up that we are going to look at super quick. So we see on the 5-day, Bitcoin has a trajectory down. We just got a green arrow for Ethereum on the 5-day. And for salamis, we also have a green arrow. Have we seen the bottom come in right around here? Okay, Solana remember, when we look at Solana on the day, it is a shit show. What do you do when it's shit show time? Well, we're going to get into some of the plays that I made today. So that is the only technical side that we are going to do on this. Next up, when we have a shit show on Solana, what did I do? I turned cash into Solana and I went and bought an NFT. And again, in my Substack, I stopped covering NFTs. And for the people that are upset about that, I do apologize. It is a labor of love, and there's not enough of us for it to take up 2 to 3 hours of my day every single day. The audience does not exist, but I still love NFTs. So I picked up one of these cool cats today. We will see how this goes. And next up, every morning I post in my Substack, I want to just watch the correlation. And granted, there are so many other things that are happening geopolitically, but in our country with our laws and our Securities Exchange Commission and the FTC and all of the bozos that want to regulate crypto in some form or other are tied into our presidential elections. So I believe there's going to be an interesting correlation as we move toward November, where percentage-wise, depending on who is going to get voted into office, we are going to see the price of Bitcoin be affected. Now, keep in mind, I mentioned that there's a think tank of people that are getting ready to meet from the VP team that are thinking future forward, and they're going to start talking about crypto. And I've said this before in the podcast. If crypto becomes a nonpartisan issue, shit is going to be magnificent. So this is something to think about as well. If there are people that are voting for Trump because a vote for Trump is a vote for crypto, which I agree, does the vote pool change if both candidates decide they want to work on a path forward with blockchain legislation? So these are going to be some interesting pokers that are going to enter the fireplace absolutely quick. It's going to happen like wildfire. So even though it's the summer, there is still going to be a bunch of shit happening. Now, a recent CoinGecko survey of over 2,500 crypto nerds revealed that 54.1% think NFTs are done. We are seeing some wicked liquidations, meaning some people are deciding, I am selling my bag of 30 of these, and we are seeing price drops across the board. I love the analytics on that stuff because I think there are still plays in there. That is why today I bought an NFT instead of meme coins, but I did get some meme coins, so we're going to check in and see how that is going. Because it's super fun, and no matter how red the crypto market is, there are ways to investigate and play this game that can deliver green results. So we are going to see how we are doing, and I'm hoping that with a statement like that, we are not liquidated, which could happen. We're going to check it out in a minute. Oh my God, that's delicious. Okay, so we do have 19% of the people that are super optimistic about shit coming back. We also have about 17% of the gamers that think there is going to be an affiliation with gaming and NFTs. And I mentioned it a couple days on the podcast. I think fuck the games, fuck those mindsets. We need trifectas. We need an NFT, a coin, and a game launched simultaneously. Quit dicking around telling us the game takes 8 years of fucking development. You're not creating the next Madden NFL. You're creating a fucking stupid video game. Put it together today, now. If you can't do it, AI can. Fix it. It's that simple, okay? It is that simple. Next up, we have Solana. It is facing some motherfucking volatility. We have been talking about it. We've had decreases and drops and red candles and shit like that. None of the stuff that you want to see if you are holding salamis. None of it. But if you still love salami, which I do, on hoagies, sandwiches, and all kinds of dishes, I think it's a perfect opportunity to buy. Don't buy with remorse. Buy because you're happy. Hey, look how red this shit is. I love this shit. It is on sale. And keep in mind, it's like, you know what? I'm not even going to go into that fucking analogy because I have never bought a handbag. And there's a good purse analogy, but it is, you know what? It's not an analogy that I'm comfortable making with the current status of the Olympics. Okay? See how I wrap that up? Okay. Next up, we have this JoJo Scottie Pippen. He came up with something called Let's Ball with a contract address which is on the screen. He was associated with an absolute complete scammer. Zach XBT came out and showed just an atrocious track record of siphoning money out of the ecosystem because he's a broke motherfucker. So, crypto detective Zach XBT has uncovered ties to a super controversial NFT project that was also launched by these same bozos. Again, just trying to pull money out of the ecosystem. I think they were a bunch of cartoon hippopotamuses. So you can imagine how well that went. Have you ever seen anybody rocking a PFP of a hippopotamus? No, Scotty, you haven't. And no, we didn't want your ball. We didn't want any of that shit because it's a smokescreen scam that you're dropping on your followers. That's probably why you don't have that many followers. I look at these football stars, dude. These football stars have 11, 16 million followers. Scotty, you were at one time just a demon and a wonderful human and an athlete du jour. You set a wonderful example. Don't let getting old fuck with your fade, dude. Don't do that, man. It does not look good on you. Anyway, the community's pissed. If you got in that, I am super sorry. And it's funny because I was actually on the live space on X that they did prior to contract launch. And my comment was, oh, it's interesting that you guys are taking your time on this and you are doing it for the community and you're not, you know, and they just filled my ear with song and dance and hustle and then laid this shit out. And it's just an ass crap piece of dog shit. So we're super happy to have you in the community, Scotty. Good dude. Good teamwork. We appreciate you. The Game 5 ball is an absolute train wreck horse piece of shit. Man, it just sucks when people do this shit. Crypto executives in Washington, D.C. are set to meet with the White House aides. They are going to meet with Representative Ro Khan, and this is going to possibly be the start of the script getting flipped. We have to see. Again, keep in mind, Washington's on fucking vacation, right, till after Labor Day, whenever the fuck they come back. So there's no glue. There's no, like, I'm telling you, I grew up in Washington, D.C. When Congress comes back, it's the groove begins, right? So this is smoke and whistles, but they are getting prepared for September. So keep this in mind. Harris's campaign currently, they have not really commented on crypto. We know that Blowho Joe is not a fan of it, and Senator Elizabeth Warren, the crackpot, she's just smoking it. We're not a fan of her. We hope John Deaton just crushes that vote tablature when they count it up, showing Elizabeth how out of touch she is. I don't want you out of your seat. I want you out of your seat with a message so you understand how much damage you have done to this country, causing innovation to leave. It is absurd. It's absurd. John Deaton, please save us. Next up, we have DJT. He is, you know, like, there's gonna be this argument that these are just political statements. He's come out of the box saying a bunch of pro-crypto things. He's been involved in the ecosystem. He's got several NFT drops. He's got all kinds of shit. Melania on Mother's Day released a Mother's Day necklace. I mean, all kinds of things have happened. We also have Barron Trump, right, that launched his own coin I'm not even going to mention who he did it with because it's just a waste of my breath. But this family understands crypto. Vance, the appointed possible VP electorate, the person that is running on the shoulder of Trump, I believe there is a tally somewhere that he holds about $250,000 worth of Bitcoin. We need smart pro-crypto people in decision-making positions, period. Elizabeth, vacate your seat. Just do us a favor. Holy moly. What are we trying to battle? We are trying to battle the $35 trillion US debt. Do you know how much fucking interest we pay on that? It is just absurd. Could we fix that with Bitcoin? Yes. In my Substack about 3 or 4 days ago, I just did some numbers like a nerd, just looking at how much gold we hold, how much of a pain in the ass it is. What is the expense to just hold that in a fucking vault and guard it with all the guards that we do? The expenditure is absurd. Turn it into Bitcoin, bozos. Gold into Bitcoin, bozos. That's what you need to do. That's the answer. That's the long-term answer. Now, we have the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, AKA the CFTC, and they have shot a subpoena at our friend Hit Network, who was formerly associated with the influencer crypto Ben Bitboy Armstrong. We do miss you, Ben. You made things better and happier, and I don't know. Dude, and I get it. Having life come at you and have ups and downs, it is a shitty thing, and especially for people who decide to broadcast a portion of their life to the public. When breakdowns happen, it's going to be interesting. One, it gives you a chance to reflect on it when you look back 2-3 years from now. But it's going to give you insight, dude, to be a better human. So we hope you are on the road to doing that. He is going to have to go through some weeds before that happens. There is a fraud probe involving 15 different tokens. The investigation is going to follow Ben around as he promoted various tokens, including the meme coin, AKA ticker sign BEN. So that whole thing is about to also come to a flurry fucking mountain explosion. Fucking holy moly. This guy Ben, not BitBoy, but Ben.eth, I think this guy was rolling around. He had maybe $36 million in his crypto wallet that people just sent him. All right, so yeah, this space, that's why this space is so fun. So what do we have next? We have Bitcoin. It faces volatility, as I've continued to say. We have some controversy. This 60 mark, if we drop to 58, we're at this 58,000 to 62,000 range, where those are kind of the tops and bottoms that I'm looking at. And we don't want to break, we want to break the top. We don't want to break the bottom, because when we do, the shit show could start. And we are going to need what we need is positive message from the overlords that yes, crypto is coming. Yes, we are going to get on board with this and make our country the pioneer that it deserves to be, and let us claim the lead role in the crypto innovation game. If we miss that opportunity, we miss so many things. So hopefully we are going to get on board with it. We are just going to keep watching Bitcoin, because that is what we have to do. We have Bitcoin market dominance. Hopefully it will hit 60%. We are going to see a bunch of diverse price action. When Bitcoin dominance rises to that level, do we see liquidity removed from the meme coin space and some of these other things? Or does Bitcoin dominance rise to 60% because there is a flood of new activity in the ecosystem? That is how I see it happening. I don't see Bitcoin. It's interesting. Wow, the 60% mark. This is going to be an interesting percentage number to watch as we move forward, right? We have the Ethereum ETFs. I told you guys a couple of days ago in the podcast that Morgan Stanley just got the green light to start advising their clients on the purchase of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin ETF. Next will be the Ethereum ETF. As far as financial vehicles, I think Ethereum is going to be more adoptable to the TradFi world. So this 60% mark for Bitcoin, it's a lofty statement. So it will be interesting to see how it plays out. If we do get these ultra god green candles, yes, I think people will flock. So the same people that refuse to buy on the red days are only going to buy on the green days when they have market confirmation. So that's the game, right? Buy when panic is in the absolute street. So we have a couple tokens that I'm watching just for this month of August. They have been dormant. They put in work when they came out. They went dormant. And with so many of these coins, there's this parabolic rise that goes up, it comes down. And there's this middle ground that they need to be able to cover for them to rise again. Now, market fluctuations are so important in how these things happen because sometimes these tokens run out of gas and manpower and they lose belief or conviction. But there are a couple tokens that I think have proved conviction. They're kind of larger market caps. They're not some of the meme shit coins that I like to trade. I think some things to put on the list are Myro, Billy, and AIOZ. They are identified to me just as kind of like top altcoins when I look at the 30-day charts across the board. So these are some things that I like to see. My recommendation, and I am not an advisor, I'm just a dude with a fucking camera, right? But the red days, if you decide Myro turns you on and you want to buy it, start watching it. And if you see a 10, 15, 20% dip on a certain day, say, hey, I'm going to buy some of this. DYOR, do some research. There are plays to be made. And I love saying that there are plays to be made because we're going to get to what we have going on in BULLX in a minute. And we're only going to do it briefly. We're going to see where we are with some shitcoins things that we got into earlier today. We'll see where we are. So hopefully we're in the green and not liquidated. So anyway, like keep in mind, right? I'm not an advisor. This space is so volatile. It is violently volatile. I don't believe there should be advisors in this space. It's too unpredictable. We could have World War fucking III come out of the sky with drones and bombs. Like, who the fuck can technically advise anybody about where the finances are going? We can't. We can't. But if you believe in innovation and technology and where the future is headed, and trust me, it is by no means with paper cash doled out by different countries. It is a universal ecosystem that lives on the blockchain, period. These are things to find belief in. Yes, all of these tokens, there will not be that many that make it to the top of the hill. It doesn't mean there's not plays to be made if you watch intently. So these are some of the things that I am thinking about and looking at. Next up, we got into some broader finance market look today, and we saw some disappointing jobs report. We saw the U.S. stock dropped significantly. The S&P 500, NASDAQ, it fell 2.1%, which is a lot, and 2.5% respectively. So these don't seem like big slides, but they're big fucking slides. The negative economic data mixed with the poor jobs report, it has intensified concerns about the overall U.S.'s economic strength. And I mentioned earlier, the amount of interest that we pay on our debt is staggering. Guess who owns most of our debt? I think it's China. You might want to fact check me on that. And if you do, you are going to be upset because, wow, it is really interesting. We have XRP. Yesterday, we were looking at things and we thought it might absolutely moon. Now we saw it significantly drop. We saw the death cross pop up. Do we see further declines? These are shit shows in the making. There is no safe story to read. You could start out in a fairy tale and end up in a horror show. The cover of the book does not give you the answers. The only thing that gives you the answers is time. And you have to bet lucky. That's it. So, how do you bet lucky? You don't. You make guesses geared around information that's available. And we're going to get into that in absolutely 1 second and what I mean when I say that. Now, finally, Shiba Inu, it continues its evolution from meme coin to serious Web3 community. Man, like this is one of those tokens, right, that has so much potential. And I kind of looked at Analytics today. A friend of mine is a holder of this, so my interest level is for love of him, right? Like I just want to know where his headspace is because he's a bag holder. So there are 1.4 million Shiba Inu wallets holding this fucking token, right? Like this is an ecosystem. There are armies, right? The Floki army, the Shiba Inu army, the Cardano army. These are patriots of the coin. So that is sentiment that is worth putting in your pipe when you start smoking on making decisions. And check this out. This is a super fun fact that every single dip coin dip in history was a good buy. Every single one. Every single one. Now, okay, so as you know, in my Substack, I put out some calls that I make, not calls. I do a shit ton of research, and before I put money on the line, I post it on X and I say, hey, this is what I'm looking at, this is what I'm gonna do, and I do it. And I do it on a BULLX wallet that we are gonna go live with, and I'm gonna show you the ecosystem, what happens there. It's just a quick walkthrough. We will have BULLX things coming up, but this is just a quick idea of what happens on that platform and some ways to navigate it super quickly. So earlier today, my first call was because it's Saturday and Sunday and it's August and I know that it's summer. I was like, the crypto stuff is not going to trade as heavily as it would. So because I like NFTs, I just started looking at NFTs. I looked at movement, I looked at sentiment on the timeline, and I purchased an NFT. As the day progressed, I started doing some thought process, and I decided to embark on a one soul challenge, and we're going to see if we can turn it into 100 salamis. And we're going to do it all on BULLX. We're all going to do it live. I'm going to show you exactly what's happening with the wallet. I loaded the wallet with exactly 1 Solana earlier today, and I made a couple trades, and we are going to check in on the trades. The token that I purchased is CHITAN. Now, why did I purchase this token? So, before I purchase any token, right? I don't care if it's a meme coin, a pumped out fund, anything, right? There are so many tokens that launch. I believe that you need to have a couple things in order before you launch. You need to have a web page. You need to have an X account. You need to have a Discord, a Telegram. Probably not the Discord because people aren't really doing that now. But you have to have the Telegram, the website, and the X account set up before launch, right? So then when you see the token launch, there is a great new feature that they have on BULLX. It's called Bubble Map, and it lets you see wallet connections. So if it is a rug project and all of these wallets were paid out via bot to manipulate the system, you're going to be able to tell. So we're going to get into some of those tools in a second, but this is a token that I decided to get in on. Currently, the Twitter following account is about 4,000 people. The person who put out this token, he owns a company called Pink Ecosystem. They have a large Twitter following account. They have done billions of dollars of transactions through this Pink Ecosystem. So he is a legitimate person. The Twitter account is decent. The meme is decent. It's a fucking otter, right? We're gonna look at it and see if it's gonna get any traction. But I saw this thing moving. It's got decent volume. Volume is the indicator of, okay, are people getting, is there movement? If there's no movement, it's too risky. And I'm not playing a risky game. I want to turn 1 Solana into 100 Solana as quick as I can. And there's tools that we're going to use to do that and see if it works out. So this is one of the things that I bought today. So we are going to get in and see what happened. All right, man, that made me really happy. Okay, so this is good. So we are looking at a live screen. So this is when I decided to get into this token. Okay, so I made 1, 2, 3, 4 buys as this was going down. Just as I was researching technicals and I saw it dropping and I was trying to reaffirm, why did I make this purchase? So I went back and looked at the website, did a deeper dive. Is it a good website? I went back and did a deeper dive on the Twitter account. Are the posts legit? Is there interaction? Who's following them? Who has reposted it? And there's some interesting players involved. So I was like, okay, this is dropping. I like this. And I just continued to buy on the drop down. Now, one of the absolute bomber things about BULLX is you can see on my screen here, I have stop losses set where each purchase, I set this up before the purchase. So every time I make a purchase, there's an immediate stop loss in there. I also have sell orders on the way up, and we're going to get into that in a second. But as we're approaching my first stop loss, like I'm still buying just because I was like, wow, there's something in here. Now, I am going to share with you one of the awesome tools that's on BULLX, which I love. And there's a bunch of platforms to use. I prefer to do this one. I take Solana from a wallet, I send it to my BULLX wallet, and I do all trades in this ecosystem because it's so fucking fast. It's so fast. And when you want to sell, you never get that radium pop-up that says, sorry, your transaction, your slippage, your fucking whatever the fuck, your transaction's denied, and you're panicking because the floor is evaporating. That does not happen on BULLX. So let me get back to this particular token. So as you can see, we have this caution note, 7 out of 8. So this token data is mutable. That is not a good sign. It is not a sign of malice yet, but it is something to keep on your radar, and BULLX has it on their radar. So the other partial problematic thing with this token, if anybody is thinking about buying it, is when I go through and I look at the top traders, okay? When I look at, I go to about the top 20 traders. Okay, so I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ratones in the top 20. These are insiders that had intel and information, friends and family, who the fuck knows? But these are the same MFers that crush you. So if there's a large number of rats in this top holder count, I am super cautious. Now it's interesting. There are some ways that they manipulate you and wreck you and still win. We're going to get into that tomorrow. But there's so many fucking good tools on BULLX.io. If you guys are interested, go to BULLX.io/beat. That's my referral. It will tie you in. And what happens when you go to that website? It pulls up your Telegram account. And it connects your Telegram. So it's another level of authentication before you get on the platform. You click that button in Telegram, it opens up this beautiful website that's filled with tools and all kinds of amazing shit that is going to hopefully make you a better trader. So we are going to just pull this down right here. So I like what this chart is doing right now. And just to give you an example of some of the research. So I am just going to refresh the page to see if the follower count has grown at all. So the follower count in the last hour that I've been talking has gone up 200 people. The Twitter account or X account now has 4,307 people. it is, it's, it is what it is, right? It's funny. Is it that funny? I don't know. But what is interesting is when we pull up their banner, they have done some customaries to some of the people in the ecosystem. So this is always a sign that they understand the mematics and what's going on with the culture. The fact that he is involved with Pink. Okay, let's pull this up because this is really interesting as well. So this is the guy involved with this coin. He is the founder of Pink Ecosystem. They have 100,000 followers on X. So all of this stuff, like, we're going to see this tie-in, right? So people are selling. I'm buying because I'm doing research, and those rats are bringing the stress level so high because my sell orders are placed. But I do think this coin has some longevity, so I purchased it. We are going to watch and see if I can turn 1 Solana into 100 Solana. And what's also interesting, it is nice to see this token going up at the moment. I also have sell orders as we go up. We're going to get into the metrics of how that happens, what happens, and what does this mean? A couple things. There are meme coins. There's action in this ecosystem. Even when everything is red, there are plays to be made, okay? Meme coins, this game, it is not a game. When they say in the trenches, it does not mean you're on your phone making swaps with your Phantom wallet. It means you are watching the chart and you have the 30-second or 1 second metric on, and you are watching every single move. Now, what is brilliant is it is laborsome to sit and watch charts and trade all day. It makes people crazy. Also, what happens is we get sleepy, and sometimes you fall asleep and it's unplanned. With BULLX, you set these stop losses in. If it goes down 20%, you instantly sell. There's no more, oh, I went to sleep and I forgot to sell. And then you set in these points where at 200%, you're going to sell 50% of the token. At 300%, you're going to sell another 20%. We're going to get into numbers tomorrow. But this is how you trade smart, trade future forward, quit making rookie mistakes, let the work be done by the system. Just understand what the game is. So we are going to check in on this tomorrow. I hope that it continues to fly. Now, this is another thing that I do. So with all of these tokens, not only am I checking the tokens on BULLX, I go to the website, I go to the X account, I check all of these things. And this is also super interesting. If you go to checkdex.xyz, this is a brilliant website to have open as one of your sites that are open when you're trading. Why do you do this? Because you put in a contract address and you hit send. And they tell you if the contract has actually played for the DEX screener activity, right? If that has not happened, 100% of the time to me, the token is a rug. This is, in my view, one of the first radar checks that you can do with token launches. This does not mean they're not going to rug. It means that they're aware of the game, right? And whether that means that probably means they're absolutely going to rug. It doesn't. These are things you want to check. The website, the X account, the Telegram, and CheckDex. These are the tools you should put in your pocket. And then also when I'm up, right, on BULLX, right, I'll pop down to holders here. So what I like about this token also, the holder count's decent. We currently have 4,519 holders. Market cap, $5.3 million. There's just activity today, right? I like to see it. So this is good stuff. And what you can do is you can then copy these wallets and run the Soul Scan. And I throw the wallets right into Soul Scan and I watch to see activity. And that's also how you can spot scams. But we can also go to bubble maps. You know, we're going to save that for tomorrow. If you guys have tuned in, I so appreciate it. It's always madness here in this ecosystem. There is not much we can do about it. We're just trying to find a way through. My goal, again, is to turn one salami into 100 salamis so I can pay my bills. And if I can do it with you guys on BULLX, it is going to be a blast. If you need to get in and get associated, go to bullx.io/beat for the hookup. You guys are fucking awesome. One last beer horn. You know what? And just because we can't do a beer horn without recognition, day 3 of Destil Brewery Extended Jam Double Dry Hop Hazy IPA that is absolutely fucking delicious. Thank you for riding with me, guys. If you are still craving crypto clarity, please subscribe to my Substack. Do it today. It's just what nice people do. You can go to my website, get some merch. You can go to BULLX.io, get set up, start doing some trading. We're going to kick shit into action tomorrow. So if you are interested in getting in on this challenge, it's not a challenge. It's just we are fighting the system, right? We want to win, and we want to do it in the summertime. And my advice is go to my link, send one salami to your wallet, and it's not a huge commitment, and we're going to see what we can do. If you guys are interested, leave some comments. We will do it live if you want, or we can just check in as I do my updates all the time. But I will probably be doing some live streaming of the trading to see what happens. The reason I don't do that is because when you sit and look at the BULLX terminal, right, that is, in my opinion, the work. The work is to not lose your attention and to continue to grasp what's coming out. These memes, these flutters that come out, to catch these things early is the only game in town. To find something early that gets volume and take advantage of that is the game. In and out, short, quick profits, rinse and repeat. Let's make some fucking money. Okay, that's what we got today. I hope you guys are enjoying all the things. Try and just stay out of trouble.